All right. So first of all, thank you so much for your time and carving out this time in your schedule to address these questions from all our Indian diaspora that ask things around general questions, passport renewals, and like other processes that are um, services that are offered by VFS and like Indian consulates and embassies. So I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Varun Kalyan. I have this YouTube channel called OffbeatTravelVK, and it has a lot of travel videos. And I also created a section where I went through a lot of these processes, and I basically just highlighted how I did it, what went well, and what are the things that people should look out for and mistakes not to make when submitting either an OCI, renunciation, or any passport renewal or any other processes. So it has actually gained a lot of viewership and people reach out to me for questions. And I think this is a great opportunity for me actually to bring in the right folks into this discussion and like give the right piece of information to people who are seeking answers. So, I mean, with me, we are joined today by Sonia Dayagureji, and she is the head of America's VFS Global, the world's largest outsourcing and technology services specialist for governments and diplomatic missions. VFS Global is a trusted partner for over 65 client governments, operating a global network with more than 3,500 application centers across 143 countries. So thank you, Soniyaji, for joining. If you have a few words.
No, thank you, Varun. Thank you for having me. And as you're talking about how you are giving the right guidance, it's really nice that there is a correct source, because there is a lot of misinformation, and we know people kind of get directed to incorrect sites. So, thank you for doing this, and this is really helpful. And I hope we can address some of the questions, concerns, and of course, direct people on the right path. Thank you.
Awesome. Sounds good. So I'm going to quickly jump on to the Q&A, and I'm going to go to the first question. So some of these have come directly from our viewers. So this is one question. It's been an unprecedented few years leading out of COVID. So people want to know, how are things picking up in terms of travel now?
Actually, it's at least in the US, it almost like COVID is completely gone. We are seeing a huge comeback to travel. People are excited to travel. Or in fact, towards all of last year, I think once the travel restrictions were lifted, people have been applying for visas, making travel plans. So earlier it was the students who needed to get back to universities, but then came the tourism, and of course business travel to an extent. But it's really uh, very good. The responses are very good. People, airlines, travel industry is really gearing up to deal with the volumes and the back to business pre-pandemic levels that we expect to see from this year onwards. So, it's actually a really good feeling now. I think people are happy to be able to get back onto the flights or trains or whatever and go and see their loved ones.
Really helpful information, because I think now that basically tells us that we're almost at the pre-pandemic level in terms of
Yes.
everything else, which is good news.
Absolutely.
So
yeah. Very
thank
good
you
news.
for that. Yeah, thank you for that information. So another one in the same line, in conjunction with the Indian High Commission, VFS Global has introduced a lot more proactive measures, services, etc. Could you help us understand what are those new things that you've introduced to make processes easier and simpler?
Yes, so with the for the US, if you see our services, what we've tried to do, and I think a lot of it got triggered on the fact that we launched during the pandemic. It really helped so direct, and today I think we've fine-tuned that really well, is how people can apply from home. So what we facilitate is a completely online process. You can apply online. Of course, the government has always had the forms online, and you can register, you can make the payment online, you can download your courier label online, and then all you need to do is drop it off at a courier which is closest to you. So, and then after that, we accept the application. So that is one part of the process. So facilitating online payment, facilitating a postal process. And there's no difference whether you come in person or you send it by post in terms of how it will impact your turnaround time. So except for that one day for couriers, that was one. We introduced other ways of interaction. We had We started consular camps last year, which have been hugely successful, where we go out of our offices to the diaspora. We've been working with a lot of the federations to do this. So this helps where our team goes, and we try and do this on the weekends along with the mission, where people can come and submit their applications, ask their questions. Besides that, there are, of course, services that we offer, which are as approved, form filling services online, because again, the idea was to go as much online. So we've got form filling services, we've got photo services, which you can do at our centers. So a lot of this was added, of course, as part of the contract, but we have really helped people to apply right through the period and not feel the pinch that they can't come to our office.
Right. No, I can testify to that because all of my processes after COVID, I think renunciation, OCI, as well as my wife's OCI, everything was done purely online, and I did not have any problem. Like, it was perfect. My wife's interview also happened online, and I mean, that's a thumbs up from my side. So really great.
Thank you.
Really great. Yeah.
That's really motivating. Thank you.
Yeah. So how has actually the overall response been specifically to that consular camps that you mentioned? And then do you guys have any areas that you guys have covered so far, and any plans for the future?
So we normally get guided by the requests, which very often come to us from the consulates or the embassy, as well as the Indian federations, who are pretty active in arranging this. So we've done camps across for the Embassy of Washington, D.C. and their jurisdiction. These are jurisdiction based for the Consulate of New York, San Francisco, Chicago. So we've covered largely like Ohio, Maryland, Cincinnati, North Carolina. We've done California. We've done, so it's across the board, and it's based on where the ask comes, where there is a request coming to say that they would like to facilitate a camp. And the response, I think, as I said, has been huge. We've done close to 3,500 applicants last year, only on weekends, and and there's no extra charge at all. It's the same what you would pay otherwise. So people are very happy, and it helps. It's a point wherein, without having to travel to the 6 cities where we are currently located, you get something close to home, get your form checked, submitted, and it's taken care of. So it's been very positive. There's a lot of also interaction with the mission also being present. So the consulate officials are present. There's a lot of interaction. They offer their services. So I think overall it's a huge initiative, which thanks to the consulate and embassies, really works very well.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Like after doing everything remote, sometimes, as you mentioned, maybe asking questions in person and like getting them solved also would help some people, like not everyone's super comfortable doing everything online. So I think that hits it right there. So
correct.
Really great.
You can never, I think the human touch never goes away. It's just still the most comfortable form of interaction. That's true.
Correct. No, very true. So I think one follow-up question to that was, I think you may have partially answered that. Can associations and groups reach out to you in case there is an opportunity for consular camps in any region?
So yes, but any request, if it comes to us directly, we will route it to the embassy or the consulate, depending on where it is. But otherwise, we would recommend that they also reach out directly to the embassy or consulate. But if there is something, we can also route it to them. And of course, it really comes down to them agreeing and deciding as to the venue, not even venue, basically the availability and the feasibility. Then we take it forward.
The next question, I think, is, apart from the Indian High Commission services, what are the other countries that VFS Global supports here in the US?
Well, the Embassy of India is, of course, one of our most esteemed clients. But besides that, we serve with 20 client governments in the US, and of course, across the Americas, 27. We work with UK, we work with Canada, we work with several Schengen missions, just to name a few, not in any order of preference: France, Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Slovenia. We have Nigeria, we work with Ghana, we also work with Singapore. So we try, and Philippines. So it's a very rounded and several, and of course we're always willing to take on more and serve as many more. But right now these are our esteemed clients here in the US.
So great to hear that.
Thank you.
The next question is around something called as Visa at Your Doorstep. Is a service
Mhm.
by VFS Global that makes it
Mm.
easier for groups as well as individuals to beat the hassle to receive a doorstep services. What
Yes.
countries have this services been introduced to?
So it's a very popular service which is launched by VFS globally.
Yeah,
Several countries allow this. UK being one, several Schengen missions, France, Finland, we have Norway, we have Austria, which allow this service. So the concept is really simple: is everybody cannot come, and especially large groups, especially corporate. Sometimes there are people who are unable to get out of their homes. So it caters to all. We are not limited to saying we can only do one type of clientele. So we come to your home, so, based on an appointment. We will bring the biometric kit with us, and our people will capture your biometrics, which is your fingerprints, photograph, as the case may be, to accept your applications, and then we transmit it safely to the client government. So and again, so it's very popular with universities. We see a huge counts, volumes where people find the efficiency of the system very much, instead of getting students trying to schedule an appointment, especially because they have such a tight window when they need to go and
mm,
apply. So it's very popular, and of course, as I said, corporates, Hollywood, everywhere works very well. It's just the
very nice.
convenience that attracts people. We do it in different ways across the world, but it's really gaining momentum.
And I hadn't heard of that. So I mean, I learned
Oh.
something new. So I'm happy to learn a new thing every day. The next question is something I think it connects with that COVID question I think we had asked. So
Mm,
there was this question that came across. I'm planning to go in person and submit the application. Is that
right.
still an option? And if yes,
Yes.
do I need to pay 90 plus fee online, or do I pay it in person at the VFS center? Because when I was filling online, I didn't see the in-person option. I only saw the postal option.
Okay, so this is for the India application, India, right? So
India
yes,
application. Yes.
yes. So our centers have been open since 2021, and you can take an appointment and come in. There we have 6 centers. All 6 are open by appointment, which is available on the website. So you can schedule an appointment. When you schedule an appointment, you pay the VFS charges online, and of
Right.
course the balance, which is the government fee, you can pay it when you apply. Come to the center through credit debit card. So that option is available. And we do recommend that you do take an appointment and come. So
Got it.
while walk-in is a service which is, but again, it's uh, based to offered more to people who might have an emergency or an urgent need. But appointment
Right.
availability is sufficient, so you will never face a difficulty. Suggest you take an appointment and then come to us.
Good. Yeah, I think I remember when it was in the thick of COVID, I think that option was gone, but I'm assuming now it's
Yes,
back. So I
yes,
think this question probably would be like, hey, is it back? So I
yes,
think you've successfully given that
correct.
latest information, which is it's all back to normal. So if anyone
All
needs
are
to go
back
in
to normal.
person,
Mm,
that's available right now.
yes.
Awesome. So there's one question which is a lengthier question. I might see if I can shorten it a little bit. This is regarding filling a particular form. I'm assuming this is a renunciation form. Only
Mm-hmm.
particularly around one question. There is a question that says on the VFS portal, do you have minor children who are or were citizens of India?
Mm-hmm.
They say that then I select yes, and they ask for children's USA passport details. But what if they don't have a USA passport yet? Then what do you enter in those spaces? It's a very specific question, but if there's any information, yeah.
Yes, so I think the question really is if you have a child who has a US passport. So I would just say you basically you have to say no there, so that you're able to proceed, because yes, if you don't have a passport, you shouldn't be saying yes. That's right.
Correct.
You're
That's
able
a
to proceed.
very precise answer. This one actually is from an international student from India studying in
Mm-hmm.
USA. They say
Right.
that their passport expired on a particular date, April 23rd, 2024, and their
Mm-hmm.
master's is getting completed 2 months after that passport expiry. So
Right.
can they apply for a renewal now?
See, passport renewal, you can apply no, within 1 year of the expiry of the passport. So, it doesn't matter what you're studying or doing, but
Yeah,
yes, you can apply if it's within the 1 year criteria. So, if
perfect,
the person
perfect.
has a passport within 1 year of its expiry, wishes to submit an application, they can do so.
Correct, correct.
Unless,
No,
of course,
that's
it's a damaged passport, etc., then there's a different, but standard timeline is within 1 year of expiry.
got it, got it. No, that is really good to know.
Not a problem.
The next one is very it's a little different. So apparently this person has received, probably they have taken United States citizenship, so they've got 3 years on their US passport.
Right,
And I'm assuming they haven't surrendered their Indian citizenship. So they're
right.
asking, are there any penalties for late surrender?
Not anymore. There are no penalties. If you have and you would like to apply, it takes an X amount of time, but there is no penalty application.
Oh,
They can
wow.
apply.
That's really helpful information,
There
because I
used
think,
to be, I think, some years ago. You're right. You're right. I
yeah,
can understand the question, but no, the government has waived that off.
awesome, awesome. And I think I have only a couple more, so hopefully I can quickly
Oh,
get
not at
those
all.
out of your way and
No
open
problem.
it up for questions from your side. And then, so this question goes around the OCI application, just to be
Mm.
specific. So can we apply for an OCI card while staying in India on a temporary visa? If yes, where can I send the completed application?
So if you're to apply for OCI in the US, you have to be physically in the US. If you
Mm,
are say if they are living in India for whatever duration and purpose, there are the FRRO offices. They should
right.
contact them and then apply there. They can do that there too. So,
Mm,
but if you're applying in the US, you have to be physically here.
got it. Got it. Got it.
So I would recommend if they are there living there for an X amount of time, that they contact the FRRO.
FRRO office over there. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I think I
Mm.
have a last question. This is actually something related to the process that I'm going through. So I'm actually applying for
Okay.
OCI for my
Mm.
minor child. Uh, the question is, I know that for foreign spouses, there was a interview, like, we
Right.
had an
Yeah.
online
Yeah.
interview. Is
Right.
there an interview sort of a thing for minor, or is that just, taken care in terms of the documentation? Uh,
Just the documentation. There
documentation.
is no
Okay.
there is no interview that you need to do. You can just
Okay.
submit the documentation if it's ready and apply for that.
Awesome. Awesome. I think in terms of questions, those were all from my side, from people who reached out to me. I think I've just crafted them in a way that, people can get the answer that they need. I
Not
just
at
want
all.
to, again, extend my heartfelt thank you to you for your time and like answering and, giving all the updated answers for all the questions with very succinct, short and quick answers. And thank you for, and from not just from my side but from everyone else, I want to first of all thank VFS and all our Indian overseas missions, because I think you are the connecting bridge between India and the diaspora across the world. I personally want to extend my gratitude, because um, this is really helpful, because if you're in a different country and if you don't have that support or guidance, I think people can get lost very easily, and you guys are always there for
Yeah.
that support. So I'm grateful for that, and I'm assuming everyone else in my situation would echo the same. So just extending that thank you from all of
Thank you
us.
so much, Varun. Those are really kind words, and it really, yes, we try and do our best.
Yeah,
You are right. It really makes a huge difference to have an office to go to talk to people, and we try. And the feedback like this and the questions that you raise really help us to provide the information probably on our website. So, there's obviously, if these people are not able to find something, then there's some, we could look at how we can supplement our website information or our call centers. So really nice talking to you and getting this information. Happy to receive any more feedback that you get. Please send it across to me and I will try and get the answers across to you so that it's accurate information that you can post to the viewers out there.
thank you so much. No, I really appreciate that. Yes, if anything comes by and like if it's really important, I'll just send them your way. And thank you for giving me that opportunity. Thank you
Not
so
at all.
much.
My pleasure. Absolutely.